Good evening.
Good evening.
Right. Good evening, Anne and David.
Good evening. I thought you were travelling today. You're still in the same spot.
Just at the moment, yeah. Well, because it's 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, as I said, only 30 minutes and I need to hit the track. So
All right. Okay.
gotta go catch a train. Anyway, my name is Brian Knight and I do live normally near Melbourne in Australia. And it's just after 5:30 in the morning here on what's today? Today is a Thursday, I think. No, a Wednesday. Anyway, whatever day
I was
it
going to
is.
say it's Wednesday for you. It's Tuesday for us. Yeah.
Good. That's all right then. Let me just share the screen here. Just put this little disclaimer here. The risk disclosure.
Oh God, I'm so sorry, Brian. What am I like? It's Wednesday here. It's Thursday with you.
That's okay.
I don't know which day of the week it is.
That's okay. That's quite okay. Rightio. So there's a disclaimer a little bit about us there. So now, probably good. This is currently where I am with some trades that I'm in. I'm looking at placing more, but because I'm traveling, I'm not going to do any at the minute. Some of them we're not going so great. I've taken some out. There's this one here, down a few dollars there. So what we'll need to do is the Euro USD. So I'll just show you what I need to do. We'll go to the chart. 3 hour. These are standard candles I've got. You can see where color changed. I really should have changed this yesterday, but I didn't because that turned green, but I still had red. So now that with the rule, you can change it. Hello, Alistair. How are you? Now it's got green, green, green. So what this tells me is that potentially now this is a direction change. So what would be the good of staying in this trade? So if I go back down here, the way to do this now is basically get out of that trade, right? Now I can add others. These are all positive and they're all going in the right direction at the moment. We can go and have a look at them if you want. So potentially what this, or a better option for this would be now, would be, if I just do a new order, because this could pull back, but we'll just assume that, or not assume, but okay, hang on a minute. I'll just go back here and show. So now you can see where that's pushed up, pulled back a little bit. It may pull back slightly, or it might pull back here before it goes off, but this is primarily, it's broken structure up. It's telling me that it's going this direction. So I might not have time to have another look at this. So what in the MEFU, so what I'm going to do is going to put a buy on right? That's just the USD, right? And stop loss will need to be down here. So if I can go and I'm just showing my process, that's all. So if I can put down at the bottom of the ribbon here, 10352 roughly. As I said, it's just rough. So on here, this is with using MT4. I just modify that. You'll have a stop loss down here, which is at the ribbon. So I'll just leave that now. Now you can see that $4 down is now up, and it's just a 0.01, as I said. So now these are currently all positive trades. We can go and have a look anyway. Euro GBP, that one. You can see where it's, it's in that sort of state. It's still going down at the moment. Stop loss up there. I could move that stop loss now to break even. Right. Plus, if I wanted to, break even plus. So if it ever comes back and I'm not around, I could, be okay with that one. Euro JPY, similar situation. I could move stop loss down and into this position if I want. That's Euro Singapore. Same thing, stop loss up there. It's come back here, but we'll have a look and see where things are at with that. This is a GBP CAD. You can see stop loss down there. It's away. So we're going to have a look at these on TradingView. Okay, probably the easiest thing to do. Let's go Euro GBP. All right, it's still red, even though it's pulled up the candle. You're right, John. I'll just mute you for a minute. So my analysis of this at the moment is we've got red. I'm just going to stay in this at the moment. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is something that you need to do on a on a regular basis. Really, is whenever you get the opportunity, you just come and have a look at each one of the pairs that you're actually in the trade, and you could even then. My process is I'll then go look at particularly other pairs that may be ready to take to get into the trade. Does that make any sense? Just thought it was beneficial to explain this.
And I presume then if you thought it was worth getting into an extra trade on it, then that's another opportunity as well.
Correct. Where this at the moment is done pullback, it's pushed down. I'm not looking at this just at this point in time. Now I could change these to Heiken Ashes, but I'm just staying on standard candles just for the moment. Just so you know, I've only got 30 minutes. So whatever time it was for you when we started, I'll need to go at 30 minutes. So Euro GBP, what's another one? What's the other one? We're at Euro JPY. Okay. You look at this one. All right, still red. No, stay in the trade. Not looking at needing to get out of that at the moment. Next one. Euro Singapore. All right. That one. Hang on a minute. What do we got here? We've got a green ribbon, and we've got a green candle, but the 18 hasn't changed as yet. Right? So I'll need to watch this because it may be a situation, we had a change up there, but I've been in it only for a couple of days. So we'll see. Even though that did a pull up, we had a green ribbon for one, but then it just took off back down again. So I'm not really concerned. I'm not concerned. I'm not really making a decision. There's actually no concern. I'm not making a decision to get out of this trade currently. And one of the things, as you can see, some of them are changing where Euro USD, for example, which we just looked at, has actually changed. So this one will have to keep in mind of what's happening with it at the moment. Yeah, so I can retain whatever profits I have in that, yeah, or break even. I could go to this and put in, what have I got? Hang on, let me go back here. Like, for example, that's Singapore, right? So that one. I could move my stop loss down to break even. So that would basically, I'll show you. Okay, well, let's do that. Can modify this. So where was my entry price? 1.47270. Yeah. So if I put that in, it should bring my stop loss to my entry, which it just did. Okay. They should be the same, which they are, stop loss and price. Right, GBP USD. That's definitely a change, isn't it? Right, and probably late even to the party of changing this. What am I in at the moment? I'm probably in the sell. Yeah. All right. Oh no, I'm in a buy, so it's okay. I'm actually in a buy on GBUs. So that I would sort of hope, well not hope, but look at that to increase as that pushes up. So stay in it, green, 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 everything's all go, no problems at all. Right, so stay there. I could move my stop loss up. I mean, I won't do that at this moment, but it's just the mechanics of it now that it's pushed up this much. There was an opportunity at New York time to look at getting into another trade. But the point is, I suppose from this, the point of view of this is I got into the trade only a couple of days ago, right? So it's now playing out. Are there any questions? I'll sort of show you what's going on. GBP CAD. Yeah, see how that's pushing out. It's into a nice profit at the moment. Let's go back. Where is it? GBP CAD. Again, green, 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 green. Stay in, right? Doing nicely. Potential to push up further, right? I don't need to do anything with that. Is this helpful to see this?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That one's moving
Absolutely.
well. Yeah, taking up all that
Okay.
imbalance.
Yeah.
I think we're just conscious of the fact you've only got 30 minutes, Brian. We're letting you crack on.
Well, you are, Anne. So we got, I wouldn't move the stop loss on this at the moment because of this. This is only, so it's still in the going in the right direction. So GBP Singapore, which is there. You can see green, 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 green. So, you know, consistently see the British pounds are all sort of pulling up out of a consolidation, broken structure and moving up. That probably not caution, but the observation point might be when it comes to the 200, it may bounce off or may break. So just cautious on that one. Then CAD-J, I got out of this. Where's CAD-J? Up here. This turn I got out of it. It's, you know, I can pull stop loss back down again, but we'll go and have a look at that one. CAD-J there. So I got into this trade initially as a buy and it turned. So I needed to, I got out at a loss at this one, but now I'm in. You can see profit. I think whatever the loss was, I'll probably profit it back up. Now this looks like it will, at this point in time, it looks like it'll pull back down again, right? But it's basically red, red, red. So I'm not really, again, just not concerned, just watching. Don't need to do anything. I can pull the stop. Oh, hang on a minute. I could pull the stop loss down to entry if I so choose. Which they're probably, I might not at the moment, just thinking about turtle soup. And the Euro USD is the one you just saw me get out of. That is a seller was in and now into the buy on it. So if I go back down and we'll have a look. Where is the Euro USD? There. So you just saw me before get out of this because it did this. I mean, I could have been pre-warned a bit in this, but you wouldn't know. It could come up to the 18 and then just start coming back down again. And I wasn't awake when this was doing this push up. So that's just the reality of where it is. We're up here, it wouldn't have mattered. Like that was green, but the ribbon was still red. So if you stay in, you can see that it's still pushing back down. So how does that work for you? It's
Yeah.
okay?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, good. So then if you want to, you can also go and look at other pairs. AUD CAD, I wouldn't be doing anything with it until I see some sort of breakout. You can just a little bit choppy on it, right? AUD CHF, again, it's in this sort of like channel bit. If it breaks that bottom there, well, you know, might look at that. But this is like a 1 day. So it's a 1 day trade, 1 day trade, 1 day sort of thing. So you have to sort of have more attention on it if you have the time, which is fine. This AUD-JPY, the issue, and this is where you need to look at, we need to look at higher time frames though. So when you look at this and see what it's done, right now, this could pull up higher because of the, you know, the imbalance, where it may have taken enough on it. But if you look now at the daily on this, you know, oh, that's Alice's really big cactus too. It hasn't come back down to that at this point. There is imbalance down here, right? Plenty of it. So that what would you do at this point is on the daily is pushing up. All right. You've got a green, but then you've got a red candle. Okay. So this is telling me that potentially it's going to push higher. And just also too, when we got today, Thursday, I think it's next week. I don't have the news thing here. Next Tuesday, I think the 1st is on Monday, isn't it? 1st of August. I can't remember. Whatever. Anyway,
it's Tuesday for us, but I'm not sure whether.
Yeah, it's Tuesday for us.
Okay. All right. It depends on when the Reserve Bank. Hang on. I'll just my. Oh, I think I think that what I'm doing. News market. No. Oh yeah. Yes. No. Just do market. Just do news. No, that's not it. Yeah. I don't really need to, I don't really want to sign at this point. It's whatever the time is. 27th, 28th, 29th, 39th, 1st of August. Here we are. Yeah. Okay, there is a rate decision coming up. Right, you can see where it's a high, right? 4.1 to potentially put it up by quarter basis point. It may not. I mean, yesterday the inflation figures came in. It went from 6 point something down to 6. And then if you put it on, I can't remember what the term is, but when you do it as a comparison or something, it's down to 3.5 or something, 3.6. And the RBA wants the rate to be between 2 and 3. So if it's the overall's up just over 3, but it's 6, it's just showing that it keeps coming down. If they put interest rates up further, the word is that it'll crush things even more than what it is, and it doesn't need to. They just got to be patient to let it come back down. But yeah, so there is a rate decision. So the reason why I'm saying that is it depends on what is going to happen with the Aussie dollar. So if you're in any trade here, just be careful back on, which will be your Monday in the UK, all that sort of thing. So, but if you wanted to, this is on the daily, I wouldn't be doing anything just at the moment. But if I come back to the 3 hourly on it, it looks like it's just doing a pullback down, right? And there is a bit of consolidation here. My thoughts on this is because of this push down and this consolidation across here, it's more likely we're going to get a push up. You see, it hasn't broken down past these, just keeps pushing up. This has done a break. I think this break is more of a fake out for it to push back up. So I wouldn't be getting into that trade for a sell at this point. AUD, NZD, again, too choppy at the moment. AUD, Singapore, again, too choppy on these. All of these are setting themselves up for something that's going to be happening next week, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, CAD CHF. Now, you could look at, if you wanted to, it's broken that structure, but it hasn't broken down below. You could wait for that to break there, do its pullback, and then drop. It's not ready for me to do. CAD-J, definitely. I would look at that to get into a trade back down to this imbalance if you're not already in a trade. And if you're not, then potentially, well, you can see that it's playing around here at the moment. But we're just getting at the end of the New York session. What time we got? 53. Okay. CHF JPY, again, you've got to look at the dailies. Again, this one of the sort of parts of this is you need to look at the daily to make sure there's confluence between daily and what decision you would be taking for a trade on the 3 hour. Yeah. Let's go down, look at a few more. UAUD. Oh gosh, this is complicated. Let's try and make this clean. You see, it just keeps bouncing around in these areas. I think they're all 3 a.m. candles, Alistair. Or 2 a.m., sorry, 2 a.m. UK. Yeah. So in light of that, if this is, that's a day trade, this is a couple of days, this is going to pull back up. It's quite strong there, and you've already got the change there. I'll be waiting for a pullback on this. You can already see in New York it pulled back down there. That would have been a nice time to get into this trade when it was, had pulled back down here. It may sort of just take off first. So it depends. You can decide whether you wanted to get into that trade or not with whatever But it may only be a short-lived trade. So Euro CAD, same thing. It would have been nice to get into the trade back down here. Yeah. Ooh. So, but the point is, if you haven't, then you know, this would have been the most appropriate somewhere in here to get into the trade. But doesn't mean it's too late. It just means that there's potentially less profits in there. Euro CHF, right? It's now changing over. I'm going to take that off for a minute. This is crossing over, but if you look at it overall, this has just been going down. All right. So that would have been a sort of a nice spot to get in, but then that pullback, there's another down. So if we go to the daily, just need to do that. What's it in? It's in a downtrend. Just be cautious, you know, down over at this, but you can see where the daily is just doing this change. So there could be a bit of a pullback before it drops. That's on the daily. If we come back to 3 hour, see that sort of the last 24 hours has been a sideways, which means that it's either going to continue back down or it's going to pull back up a bit. Right. So mindful, make a decision on what you want with that. Euro GBP, as I said, this one's still going down. If you're not already, see all this sort of indecision around here again, it could sell or buy. You just got to monitor it. So you make a decision whether you want to get into it or not. Euro JPY, still red. See the pullback up. Probably a good decision for me anyway. I'd get into another trade on that one. Euro NZD. If you're not already in this, it's done a pullback. This is green, and you've got a green candle there, and they're green. So this could be a nice trade to get into for a couple of days. Just depends. Yeah, and if you go to the daily, it's up to you, but you can see where it's pulling up over time, right? This is back from 24th of May. So up. So it's pulled back. So if it's still in that green up, it's still got green candles. Yeah. So you're in New Zealand, if you want to, there's a trade for potential trend continuation. Euro NZD, that is. Euro Singapore. I might not be able to go through all of these. There's a change, but not a change in candle and not a change in AIM. So just monitor this. If this then pulls back down again and it stays red and you're get into the trade for a sell on that. And you could see, but then this could go, this is green. You could have a green candle and a green. So you would get straight into a buy. Particularly there. See here, this up. It's come back down, taken out any of that imbalance. It's potentially ready to go back up. On the daily, see where it's still going. These are pullbacks here. So this could be getting ready. It's still in a sell up here though, right, on the daily. So just be cautious, whatever, back on the 3 hour. Yeah. This could just turn and keep going down. Right. Euro USD, as I said, this is now pulling back up again. Consistent sort of wave of this one. Okay. How's that? Everyone okay with that? I better get organised.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for don't be late.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
Hello,
thank you.
Vilma. That's right. Oh, thanks, Glenn. Sorry, I'm only doing this bit, but so where are we at now? Hang on a minute. I'll just share the screen back on here again, just so you know where we're at with it. There. So that's where the trades are currently. Right. these ones. So you just got to keep monitoring that one. I just got a USD that I got out with a bit of a loss. It's now kicking back in the right direction. Yeah. Oh, and hang on a minute. And this is other trades from 2 or 3 weeks ago. These are on this is my C trader. So some of these I've got rid of, and some that I've put new ones on, like CAD-JPY. I got out of that for a buy, and now on a sell. I profited that one, and then and now up on that again. And so it's just really monitoring what happens with all of these trades as you go along. All right, then, take it easy. Hopefully, oh yeah, I should be on tomorrow, which is the last day of the trading week for me anyway. And we'll just see where things are at and what's happening. Okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks so much.
Cheers,
No
Brian.
worries. Have a good one.
Cheers.